Wolverine hands-on preview impressions. Let's get into it, man. What Logan looking like out here, man?
Insomniac's Wolverine takes place on Earth 1048, the same universe as its
That should
Spider-Man
look
games,
good.
and opens with an assault on a Weapon X base, where Wolverine teams up with his longtime hater Sabretooth. I
Okay.
played through this section of the game just days after watching them both do the exact same thing in X-Men 97. A four-party mission featuring
Shout out to
Wolverine
X-Men
is a common
97, man.
narrative
X-Men
beat in
97
Logan's
going
stories,
crazy.
irrespective of format. But that sense of fortuitously timed familiarity became a feeling that permeated much of what I saw and played of Wolverine. Wolverine is the latest in a type of game that PlayStation has become known for.
Ooh, got the
Mostly
parry.
linear action game that is narrative driven,
Look at the Sentinel.
uses introspection, self-discovery, and personal growth as theme for character development. What I played wasn't remarkable for its unique ideas, but nevertheless,
Okay,
it
Mystique.
made a good impression in the way that it was executed.
Okay, so this day boss fight. Cool. Look how much damage
As
you
it
doing.
happens,
Damn.
that
you-
template works very well for Wolverine. In
Hey,
this universe,
yo.
Logan has lived a life spanning hundreds of years. He's been through hell, figuratively this time.
Right.
His memory is broken, and since the X-Men team hasn't been established in this particular
Oh, this ain't gonna be
continuity
sweet.
yet, he's mostly alone.
They made it a little bit
This
more
is a
challenging.
compelling starting point for the kind of tame the beast within tale that packs a
I
big
like
punch when it
this.
comes to this character. Though Wolverine may be a game made from familiar pieces, Insomniac is putting them together in surprising ways.
Nah,
this became
they-
apparent from the intro, where a calm, wizened figure finds a feral Logan hiding in the wild and extends a helping hand. If you thought that person was Charles Xavier, founder of the X-Men, you'd be wrong. This time, it's Nathaniel Essex, the X-Men
Who?
antagonist who will become known as Mr. Sinister. By subverting expectations, Wolverine,
that's
again, not the
crazy.
person, establishes tension and sparks intrigue. It got me thinking about Essex's inevitable turn and what could potentially
So Mr.
trigger a
Sinister
schism
in it?
between him and Logan. But my more immediate task was to team up with Sabretooth and Mystique. Team X, as the trio is known, was put together by Essex and are now trying to rescue him from the clutches of lunatic human supremacist Bolivar Trask.
Damn. Hey, Mystique like that though. We'll go crazy then.
Okay, let's get the easy part out of the way. Gameplay is brutal and has been designed to encourage brutality so that the violence, along with being true to the character and feeling very satisfying,
Damn.
also feeds into the narrative. This, for me, is the most interesting part of the game thus far. Fundamentally, the mechanics of the combat are the same we've seen for years now. Light attacks, heavy attacks, a timing-based parry, and dodges to create openings.
I ain't mad
And
at
like in
that.
similar action-oriented superhero games,
Thrust kick.
you can develop all these mechanics by unlocking new skills or enhance them by unlocking perks, which the game calls adaptations.
Okay.
Our custom treatments remove any pests in your business's way. Terminix it.
It's all the essential building blocks of the free-flow combat system popularized by Rocksteady's Batman
like
Arkham
this.
games and now used in pretty much every game that has melee fighting in it. What
Right.
stuck with me was a sense of momentum that slowly builds as Wolverine lays waste to his enemies. How that feeds into Logan's mental state and how the player becomes an active participant in that mind-body
Damn,
connection.
she look good on this game.
Although Logan doesn't know who he is anymore, he has an acute awareness that inside
That's
him
how
is
she's supposed to
something
look in the
monstrous fighting
movies.
to be let loose, which scares him. In the thick of combat, that push and pull struggle is represented by a meter that tracks his rage. Although
Okay.
Logan has his healing factor, he still feels pain and can be visibly injured. Rage, which splits
Oh,
into
why they cut
segments,
that? He was about to
begins
get
as a way
swaggy off
recovering health.
Sabretooth.
But the longer the violence goes on, the more Logan's rage meter builds and the more aggressive he becomes. For the player, that creates
Damn.
a satisfying loop that, smartly, is in lockstep with Logan's escalating on-screen emotions. The
Okay.
demands and the precision required of the player to take out waves of Trask's goons changes as he gets more and more enraged, until there's a kind of parity between the player's input and
Damn.
Logan's blind rage and indiscriminate killing. Wolverine's opening salvo usually
Task
begins
outpost.
with a leap that closes the gap between himself and the enemy.
That's
With his
crazy.
claws out, he plunges into his target and launches into a series of quick attacks that can be
Shit.
ended with a more powerful one. It's a ruthless dance of back and forth
Good parry.
that requires directing Wolverine towards the most imminent threats. be they a soldier firing a gun from long range or one using a shield to take the sting out of his attacks.
He
In one
healing though.
situation, Wolverine
You
was
can see
lured
his
into a
elbow.
room that takes away his healing factor, which means the player also needs to juggle taking out the devices suppressing his mutant abilities on top of
He ain't
the
got double
dangerous flora
takedowns?
surrounding him.
Damn, tore his arm
As the
off,
rage
bro.
built up, I initially used a heavy finisher where Wolverine impales the enemy on his claws and, by doing so, recovers health. This pairing of attacking until a bar of rage is available
Sure,
to
ass
heal
down.
and then repeating was very effective. However, by mixing
They
with special
beat
techniques
too, I
like
like
tornado
this.
spin, which sees Wolverine spin with his claws out to control the crowd of fodder, it becomes easier to maintain rage and continue building towards increasing the meter to its 3rd level. About the same time I reached level 2, I found that the game was usually trying to overwhelm me with enemies,
Yeah.
which pushed me to make quicker decisions in target prioritization.
That's what I like right
while
there.
Also parrying and dodging, leaping to targets, attacking them, and moving on. This felt like an intentional ratcheting up of pressure, specifically designed to make the eventual payoff feel intoxicating. And it worked very well. At level 2 Rage, I was cutting through Tark's soldiers like they were made of butter, watching as the world around me was showered in blood and a grunting Logan leaped from one enemy to the next, claws
He
out,
going
shredding
crazy.
everything in his path. A few counters and a whole lot of eviscerated baddies later, Wolverine's Rage reached level 3. At level 3, Wolverine can launch into a
You at
berserker
level
frenzy.
3
This
already?
sees him
They must have gave him the
essentially
full
losing some
game
degree of
already.
control as he's driven by pure animalistic instinct. The world loses its color, desaturating into black and white, and the sound of the musical score becomes muted, drowned out by Wolverine's heavy breathing and snarls, and the snick of his claws as they slice through bodies and the environment around him.
Damn. Sheesh.
Crucially, the player's inputs simplify to just hitting 2 trigger buttons to viciously maul anyone in his path, instantly killing them. That process no doubt sounds pretty ordinary on paper, but I'd be lying if I didn't admit that the synergy between the various systems building into a big violent payoff put a smile on my face. It's one of the ideas that Insomniac has implemented to bring authenticity to the character in the same way that exhilarating web swinging, mid-air pirouettes and impromptu backflips were how the studio realized the fantasy of being Spider-Man. There's a level of satisfaction that comes from the sudden shift from carefully timed strikes and evasive maneuvers to simply hammering
going
2
crazy,
buttons
though.
to obliterate everyone and everything that embodies Wolverine and his anger so well. But it was also released for me too. Like Logan, I was able to throw out the need to think about what I was doing and give in to effortless and mindless killing. In this berserker state, continue to attack and kill adds to his rage meter, which means it's possible to stay in that mode for extended periods of time, making the crash all the more effective when the berserker state ends and sights and sounds of the world come rushing back, leaving Wolverine and the player to deal with the death and destruction they wrought together. It's a very neat
You can
trick
still
that
see the
for the
blood
couple
on his
of
face.
hours
That
I
was a good
played,
cutscene
never
right
got
there.
old. Whether that transition remains as effective over multiple hours remains to be seen, but I suspect that being able to unlock new techniques and adaptations will keep things fresh. That satisfaction of combat is what I left thinking most about, but there
Okay.
were a number of other noteworthy elements that I'm eager to experience more of. As mentioned, Nathaniel Essex's arc from idealist to lunatic is a major one. During my session, I reached a point where cracks started to form in his relationship with Logan, as Essex started to descend into his own kind of savagery. But there are also numerous other characters and relationships that are similarly intriguing. This is one of the few instances of non-comic book X-Men material choosing to explore Mystique beyond the usefulness of her shape-shifting abilities
Right.
and subterfuge.
I don't need a
actually the
comic book
cooler head on
accurate
Team X,
game.
and often has to keep Wolverine and Sabretooth on task. She's depicted as smart, level-headed, and very much in love with Tiger. That's part of the character we haven't seen much of on screen.
Okay.
Similarly, there's nuance in the way Sabretooth is depicted. Although he's constantly giving Wolverine grief and goading him, it's clear that he sees him as a kind of kindred spirit. And though he'll never admit it, he's the closest thing Sabretooth has to family. That means that
It's a
when
big
cracks in Team
fucking
X start to
hand,
form,
bro, man,
Sabretooth takes
like-
it very poorly, lashing out at Logan.
You want to call the shots? Kick Essex's ass! Take charge!
Jean Grey, meanwhile, is on the run, trying to help her fellow mutants while evading capture. As outcasts, Logan and Jean start to build a relationship that brings out the vulnerabilities in both of them. And surprisingly, my time with the game ended with the introduction of the Hand.
Damn, so where is
that
I ain't gonna
shows up in
yeah,
Daredevil
it gotta be some
a big part of
it has to be
Spider-Man
some type
This
of
in turn paves the
comic
way for
book
Lady
accuracy
Deathstrike
to it a little
to
bit.
further
Because it's like,
complicate
where's
Logan.
Scott at?
It's undeniable that Insomniac's take on Logan is firmly planted in familiar game design, but Wolverine is clearly doing more than just fitting a typical story of the character in it. From the little I played, its take on Logan, the way it continues to build out Earth 1048, and the authenticity of the character in how he plays are where the team is aiming to distinguish the game.
No, that's good money
Given that
though.
these are the same pillars that...
That's good money though, yeah. This joint gonna be like that, bruh. I ain't saying it's gonna be game of the year because it's a lot of good games that's coming out this year, but it's gonna be a fan favorite for sure. And it's only PS5. You ain't gotta worry about PC and optimizations and all that. Just buy it for the 5 and you good to go, Brody. But yeah, man, that's crazy, man. Oh my God, my man Logan, man, about to go crazy.